Hey guys, thanks for stopping by today, and we're going to get deep into photography, so I'm glad you're here. Let's go ahead and get started. As a new reseller, don't try to get fancy quick. Just start with your phone. Most phones are completely fine for photography now. Wait until you're making money and profits to boost up or anything. I personally just bought a new phone to take my photos. So you don't have to have a fancy camera. For instance, I'm filming with my wife's Canon EOS. Trying to look at it. It's a fancy camera with all these cool gadgets and buttons and whistles. So I film these videos sometimes with that, sometimes it's a GoPro, but I can get almost as good quality photos, since it's just of clothing typically, as I could with that camera. But with the phone, I'm able to go a lot faster, 25-33% faster. So I'm getting a lot more listings done for 5 or 10% loss of picture quality. That's fine because the pictures are still really good. Cameras today are great. So I'm just saying, you don't have to spend a lot of money on a camera. It's probably one of the last things you'd want to buy. Number two, this is super important, guys. Get creative with your lighting. I'll include a couple photos here that I took. You don't want to have harsh lighting, so you don't want to be directly in the sun. Good natural light is awesome though. So if you want to, say, take them by a window where natural light's coming in, but not like where it's bright throughout there, just where natural light's in the room, you can set it up right there, take those photos, work with some angles. That's a really good option. Another option is to actually buy some lighting. We have a brand called Newer, I would assume, Neewer. Sorry, I was looking at it there. They cost us maybe $100-150 for 2 of them, and they sent us extra light bulbs. We haven't had to change the light bulbs yet. It's been over a year. We got enough probably for 5-6 years, what it looks like so far. But yeah, they're just big box lights with front covers. You can find them on Amazon. They work perfectly fine. You don't need to spend hundreds and thousands of dollars on lighting. Just experiment with the lighting you got. Don't spend any money up front when you're getting started, because you want to make sure you just like the process. It's something that you're going to stick with. Don't spend a lot of money on something that you might change up. 3, center your photos, guys. I see some photos on eBay when I'm looking through stuff, and they're just all random and all over the place, all in the corners. You can either center them as you take the photo, or you can adjust them and crop on either eBay or on your phone. So just make sure they're centered. Look, we're trying to be semi-professional here. If you're trying to make money off of people, give them a good presentation. That's all we're saying. Especially when you're getting started, I think it's very important to take multiple shots of your product. This is going to allow you to have the best photo. You can choose which one's best for, whichever thing you were trying to take. Say it's the front of a shirt. Take 5 or 6. Use the best one. As you develop and get better at your photos, you're going to realize what angles, what lighting works best for you. And then you can take fewer and fewer photos until you get it down to the bare minimum, because this is about implementing things that give you speed so you can list more and more items, because that's how you make the most money. But in the beginning especially, multiple photos, use the best ones. That's going to give you the best chance to sell. Guys, I can't stress this enough. Take measurements and take photos of the measurements. If you're selling clothing, this is a must. You want to do a flat lay. You want to do things like pit to pit, shoulder to bottom, pit to bottom. You can do bottom if it's women's clothing. You might want to get a pit and then a midriff. Take your measurements. Pants, you want to do your inseam, you want to do your waist, and then oftentimes for men it's not as important, but you want to include the rise and the pant leg opening. For men and women, the rise definitely for women. That's one of the most important things they look at. eBay will tell you what the rise is in each category. So just take the photos, and then you can adjust your numbers in your categories for your listings at that point. These platforms are set up for 1-to-1 ratios or squares. Most phones will be set to 4-to-3, so it's going to be a little bit higher, like a rectangle, and it's going to be a little bit more narrow. So make sure you're set up 1-to-1. You can just go on your phone settings. Oftentimes it'll say 4-to-3, or it could say something else. That could be 16:9 possibly. You definitely don't want that. You can edit a photo if you've already taken them in eBay to 1-to-1. Just, you would have to adjust it. It's going to automatically show up that way, but it's going to skew your photo a little bit. So go 1:1 or square. Some phones actually say square. So you see 1:1. That's going to give you a square photo. That's going to translate perfectly to what you see on eBay or other selling platforms. So make sure you do that. And everybody, take pictures of your flaws. You want to underpromise and overdeliver. You don't want to send something out that you didn't mention because you're like, I didn't notice that, whatever. Now you're lying to your customer. Your customer's not going to come back to you, and they're going to send the product back. You're wasting money. You're going to have to pay for return shipping. This is an item not as described. Describe every flaw. If you have to drop it down a little bit in price, drop it down. I've had some items that I couldn't sell because I didn't notice a hole somewhere or some kind of big stain, but most of them will still sell. Just put stain, take a photo of it, use a measurement stick or whatever, tape measure, and then you can show how big it is and then just deduct the price. I mean, I just sold a pair of jeans with a big ink stain I didn't see when I bought them for $5. I paid $2 for the jeans. I ended up making like $1.89. I made $1.89 on something that I shouldn't have bought. Whoopee. But if I sell them for 12 or 15, they're going to get sent back to me. Not worth it. I'm going to have to pay return shipping because I didn't describe the item properly. Just describe it right, guys. Be good people. That's how good businesses are made. You're going to get return customers if you're honest enough. Display the item at its best. You'll learn how to fold clothing in different ways. You'll learn different angles on hard goods. Just the best. Like on hats, you'll want to take and do a certain angle so you're getting the front view but also the side and a little of the back. Like shoes, the way you prop them up, and just experiment with different things, but display the items at the best. The first photo is the most important photo. eBay wants either a white background or a clear background where the background is removed. They offer something to remove the backgrounds, which works pretty well now. Bravo eBay on that. Make sure, though, that your first photo pops. If your first photo sucks, nobody's going to click on your listing. The first photo is what's going to sell your item or not. The other photos are going to give them the extra information they need to click buy it now or bid. We'll talk about that later. Buy it now. But this is the most important thing. The first photo, make sure the background's white or clear, and then you guys will be set up for success. And guys, remember, your photos are what sell your item. They can't touch it. It's not like they're in a store where they can try it on and feel it. Your photos are going to sell the item. So let the item actually feel like it's in their hands. When they're looking through your photos, you got a better chance to sell. Thanks for tuning in, guys, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. Howdy, y'all, and let's buckle up and get ready for another Ye-Town Yo-Down. That's not how I'm really going to start it. Hey guys, thanks for stopping by today, and we're going to get